demand, being that I did this impromptu. I didn't let anyone know that the stream was going up. That being said, if you are joining me live, awesome, glad to have you here. And I'm going to be going over some of the setup that goes into setting StreamLabs OBS up. So give me a moment here. I'm going to create a clean. And let's get the scene so that you guys can see what I'm doing on my desktop. So right now, all you can hear is my voice. However, I will be bringing up a desktop. It's going to be main display capture. Now, as you add sources, you can name them. Make sure you name them something that's repeatable. Use some sort of formula in your head so that they're easy to keep track of. There we go. And now you can see everything I'm doing here. And I can see everything I'm doing here. And future me's can see everything I'm doing here. So right now we have two simple audio sources, the mic audio and the desktop audio. My current setup actually has a lot more audio sources. So we're going to look into how to adjust that, right? These are the tracks being saved on the recording. If you choose to record, I will stop recording from time to time during this to show you some of the recording options that you can't show while you actually are recording. So as you can see, we are live. Get some of my stuff out of the way here in the background, huh? Yeah, let's get it all out of the way. Now, there's a couple questions I get routinely from different people, and that is, how are you streaming ultra wide? And how are the settings you're using working so well with regards to your audio and your stream? And so I'm going to show you some of those settings right now, how I would set them up. This is essentially a new stream setup because right now I created a scene just for this stream. Let's go ahead and make this big. And we can always adjust this for the different views, but I have it set up so that I can have all my audio devices here, a feed of information, my sources and my scenes, and then chat on this side. Although I tend to use another chat, which incorporates a lot of things together in one. So no matter where you're watching me, whether it's on Restream, through video on demand or live, I appreciate having you here. If you like this information, share it, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Tell me what you'd like to see next. So with that, I hear some noises in the background. Let's go ahead and make sure I'm not ignoring anyone in particular. I don't think I am, but you never know. This is what it's like to do live streaming. Impromptu. So with that being said, one of the biggest things in any stream is understanding what you're using to stream and setting those settings accordingly. So as you can see, I have my video set as the full resolution coming off of my video card. So I have both the canvas and the output set as that. Now you may choose to do something different. However, in my case, I want to make sure that what's recorded is the highest resolution possible. So my output is going to be the canvas size. Depending on your computer, how strong it is, and what you're trying to do, you may want to lower that, especially if you don't have a whole lot of space to store the video, which I'm quickly running out of. So definitely a big concern. Now here's the downscale filter. If possible, you want to use the one that does 32 samples, Lanczos, I think is how it's said, Lanczos, as it's going to give you the sharpest scaling downward. In this setup, it doesn't matter because I'm not technically scaling, so it really shouldn't be doing anything. But just in case, I always set it the best. Then you can pretty much ignore the FPS type, in my experience, and then it comes down to common FPS values. If you're recording something where you have a lot of speed, you have a lot of things going on, so first-person shooting and fast movement, then it might behoove you to go ahead and jump this up to 60. Hey, Thanks, Alexander. Nice to have you around. Thank you for the follow. I will replay your follow once I get the alerts on the stream. um, but if you are just doing an instructional video like this one, then dropping it down to 30 can actually improve your quality because it's going to not push as many frames, which means each frame can have a better compression rather than having to super compress a lot more frames to fit in the same amount of bandwidth. Hey, I hope that there's not too much delay on the stream, Alexander. Just let me know when you hear this. I'm saying this at 6:40-ish, so we'll find out exactly when you hear me responding to you. So that's one of the settings here. We're just going to go right down the line. So under the stream, we are live, so we can't change any of our streaming stuff. In my YouTube video, when I recap this, I may actually take a screenshot of these settings being adjusted, and I'll work that into the video for everyone if you guys want me to go ahead and turn this into a real, legit YouTube video. Under the output, this is probably one of the most important things as well. All of these kind of work hand in hand, so it's hard to say any one's more important than the other, but this definitely does control a lot of the quality going out to your viewers and for your streamed recording. So here we can see we're pushing audio track out to the stream, and we're using my NVIDIA card's encoding to stream out to you guys, because NVIDIA does have seemingly the lowest latency with a decent quality. Now for streaming, you definitely want to use a constant bit rate because that helps with peaks and lulls in the video stream. It can expect the same bitrate coming in, so it transcodes at the same bitrate. There's a lot less rubber banding, and most services ask for CBR. Now, the bitrate, some people are going to tell you different things. It has to be lower than your upstream and whatever game bandwidth that you're using. But other than that, I try to keep mine around 4,000 or less because it generally leads to less buffering for all of you. And I'd like to have my viewers not buffer as much as possible, obviously. Keyframe, generally it's going to be set to 2, but you can set it to 0 to have things automatically set up. But 2, I believe, for Twitch in most platforms is pretty common. I set mine to low latency performance because I'm trying to get the video to you as quick as possible. Yet again, it depends on transcoding, Twitch, internet, congestion, all that jazz. And then profile high. These are some options that you're going to see for the NVIDIA encoder, talking about the look ahead and psycho-visual tuning. And then this is where it asks about what GPU. Now these are the advanced settings. This is what I use, advanced. Simple is a lot more simplified, but I feel that advanced gives us more control here. Now here's the interesting part. If you're also streaming and recording at the same time, these are the settings I use. Your mileage may vary, but I like to record all the audio tracks so I can choose from the track when video editing later. Track number 1 is going to have everything that the stream heard. Track number 2, generally, I'm going to have the desktop. Track number 3 will be probably communication audio, Discord, etc., etc. Track number 4, 3 and 4, communication. So mic and Discord or vice versa. And then 5 and 6, whatever. But you want to try to pull them off into groups so that when you're video editing, you can drop a track and have it not be necessary. Also, I changed the recording format to TS. If there's a crash or something that causes the video to stop catastrophically, this generally allows you to recover your video better in this format. Recording path is pretty straightforward, and the recording type, I've never felt the need to change that. Down here, you'll see the type of recording compression I'm going to use, or encoder, and this is using the NVIDIA encoder again. Hey, Zipsty, what's up? Zip, zip. Let me know when you hear the shout out. I'm being really good about chat today because I'm just looking at the chat and this interface as I explain it for all of you. This is actually a viewer request on how to work with StreamLabs and get it set up. I know some of you guys may be using Streamlabs coming from OBS, and you'll be amazed at how easy things can be. So coming back to the video settings, under output, the recording, I have my bitrate set as variable, and I provide a 40,000 for the low and 80,000 for the high. No, 645. Okay, all right. And so it took about 30 seconds to a minute-ish for you to hear it. So there's a little bit of lag in the stream right now. I may look on trying to do some test streams to see if we can lower that. I don't have very good luck with lower latency. I figured you waited a little bit. 5 to 10 seconds. So that's pretty good. If it's that, then I'm okay with it. 10 seconds, I can deal with. 30 starts to get too bad. Oh, great. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you giving me the heads up on that. So another nice thing here about Streamlabs is you notice I can communicate with the people watching my stream very easily right there, and I still have everything else in front of me. So getting back to the settings, we're going to try to burn through these. Output. So we were talking about the recording settings. Most of these you aren't going to need to change. 0 audio, max quality, high, look ahead, psychovisual, and the G. This is all pretty customary to what you were doing earlier. You will want to tell it where you're recording to, right there. Under the audio, you can set up what audio setups you want to use. And you see that I have the tracks named. I named one desktop and mic, desktop and Discord, etc. Although I wouldn't normally want to put the mic on the desktop if possible, because I'd like to be able to separate the game completely. So you see I have a separate one here for mic. So this might be some presets that I had in there from a while back. And then replay recording. Replay recording is pretty cool because it's this little button here. When you have it recording, if you find something that's interesting and you just want to record the last however many seconds of it, in my case 600, all you have to do is click record once that's running. So when you click this, it starts running. Now for the next 6 minutes, it will record and it'll continue loop recording. And then if I find something interesting, all I have to do is click that save replay button or a hotkey, and it will save the last 6 minutes of play, no matter when I click it, which is kind of cool. So yeah. How are you doing, ZipT? Let me know in the chat, video comments, all above. All right. So now let's go ahead and show you a little bit more. Let's wrap up these settings. Glad to hear it. You can create hotkeys for all sorts of cool stuff. I've had to wipe mine recently, so I will be recreating some of those. A cool thing to recreate is your save replay. So if you click on the area and then push what you want. So let's see if control multiplier button. Boom, that'll save a replay. That's kind of cool, right? And you can start streaming, stop streaming from all that. Toggle in-game overlay, which doesn't seem to work for me, but I'll try it again here. And then we can do overlay positioning mode. No, I don't like that button. How about that? All right. And you can also set replays for switching scenes. So if you're doing a presentation and you just want to switch to the next scene because you're kind of using this like some Uber PowerPoint on steroids, you could definitely do that while streaming multiple points of view. And then, of course, there's muting and all sorts of other stuff. Under advanced, most people aren't going to need to do this, but there is some information here on what you can do in advanced, making sure that your process priority, I like to have it above normal, not super high and not low. That way, something that needs more priority will have it, but this is enough priority to make sure that it's able to do its job. You can also have your audio duck. One other things, that's kind of a little bit more advanced stuff. If you guys want to know about this stuff, I could definitely go into it in another video. This is kind of a high level video. I do dynamically change bitrate and enable networking code, and yet again, I'm trying to do that as low latency as possible. So I don't know how well that works, but I do definitely try it, and I bind it to the stuff directly. In-game overlay, I generally don't use. Sometimes I want to use it, but I haven't tested it enough to know. I've been too busy adulting. Scene collections is really important because you can export your overlay files, import them, and do different stuff with your scenes. It's kind of experimental, but there is some cool stuff that you can do here to help create your themes. Notifications. Oh, that was turned off. I turn the sound off a lot of times because I have it notify for everything. We don't need that sound for everything. I like the night appearance. I like it to be kind of quiet or kind of subdued. I like all this stuff, so I make sure that I enabled emotes and anything else interesting. This is really cool. So this is a remote control that allows you to control your OBS from your cell phone. Right, so you can literally sit there. Where are my emotes? Let me, man, I haven't emoted for a while, yeah. Look at all this stuff. Getting distracted. Okay. So you can start and stop the stream from your phone. You can change scenes from your phone. So definitely a really cool thing to do with your phone, and I highly suggest it. It's like having a Stream Deck installed. And then you can install extra stuff onto Slobs, which we'll go into some other time. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump in here. And here's the scene I created for this. Now to create scenes, if you go to, hold on, the plus button, you can create a new scene in here. If you want to manage your scenes to create a whole new group of scenes, you can click on Manage All and create new from there. Or you can import your old scenes or scenes that you've created in OBS here. Now, while you can import things from OBS, you can't take things necessarily from here back to OBS, so it's one direction. Give me one moment here, I'll be right back. Real life. All right, I'm back. So, as I was showing you, there's multiple ways to have scenes. And when you select a whole scene, it will select all the stuff you've set up for that. And I need to actually go through and pull some of my older stuff out. So we're going to name this scene main desktop, no cam. And I like to also see the resolution, because even though I'm running a certain canvas, I adjust things for the resolution size. So this is going to be 1440. Whenever I use 1440, I'm doing ultra wide. There we go, 1440. That's always the vertical. Now here's the main display capture. Now we could rename this as well, and I'll show you why. So this is 1440, and it is what it is. If we did 1080, we could do another one as 1080 and have it be its own scene, and everything would adjust as if we were on a 1080 canvas, but pushing the correct sizes. I know it sounds a little confusing right now, but it's not really that crazy. So one thing that is quite helpful when streaming is to switch over into, where is it? I haven't done it in a while. Studio mode. And under studio mode, what you see here on the right-hand side is what you see. What you see here on the left-hand side is just what could be. It's what you're editing. So on the left-hand side, we're going to create another main desktop. So we like what this is already. Oh, but we are going to add a couple things here. So let's go here. And this is really weird with this audio. It only is showing 2 tracks. So desktop audio, let's check and see what it's pulling. It's just pulling default. So we want to pull our main audio, our speakers. And then for the done. For the communication audio, we're going to pull in my mic. So it's going to be the microphone from the headset, the communication. Use device timestamps. And done. And I'm going to rename it if it'll let me. Rename. There we go. And it's going to be headset mic. Done. So then, oops, I messed up. Then what I can do is I can also have communications from Discord. Now my Discord uses my communications audio channel. So I can add that here as a source. And it will be audio output capture. And we're going to call it Discord audio add source. Now we notice it adds it here. Now we got to choose what it's going to be. So that is going to be the communications audio from my headset. Boom. So now when someone talks in Discord, or when I do something in Discord and we hear stuff, you will see that light up. So I'm going to show you here in Discord that when I go to video and audio, I have the communications stuff set up here. And we're going to hear ourselves come back because it's going through that channel. You see it's not going through the desktop audio, it's just going through the communications audio. So if we go and work with this recording, we can go ahead and pull off all of the communication stuff and we won't hear it. We'll just see the video and whatever audio is on the desktop. So it's a good way to compartmentalize. So yeah, imagine that. All right, so let's get this back up out of the way. Okay, so some of you will be wanting to add other things, whether it's for a presentation or whether it's just to show off and give good, cool shout outs to your followers. Cool stuff, right? So I want to make sure that my followers get you know, the shout outs that they're due. So here's a cool thing that it's showing for the alert box. Okay, we're going to use that. And we're going to say alert box, beautiful, and we're going to add the source. So this source is right there, and it automatically set the width and height. We'll just leave it at that, that's fine. And we can test it. So let's see here, follow. So I have an interesting theme on here, and I remember setting that up, but it's kind of a pain, honestly. So I'm going to have to adjust that myself, and I'll show you how that works hopefully here in a little bit. But for right now, proof of concept is just that it's up there and working. So when we click that, you'll see alert box is up there. And when we do a test, you'll see that it pops out from the side. Now you didn't see it in the stream, you just saw it here on my editing view because it's not part of the stream yet. So I have to do something here to fix that anyways. So give me a moment. Hey, Barbara. Nice to have you around and watching. Let me know if there's anything in particular you want to see. I will be going over some resolution and other things that I've done that might help you keep the correct ratios. Just let me know what you're interested in. So when we come over here, some of this is stuff that I haven't messed with in a while, so I'm quite fuzzy on how it's working right now. Widget themes, here we go. So yeah. Ooh, look at Dark Void. A lot of this stuff you have to pay for. Everything that's Prime, you have to have a subscription for. I don't know if there's anything free anymore, honestly. So much stuff is Prime now, it's crazy. But let's see. Let's look at the alert box and see what we got. Is there anything for the non-money bags? Look at all this Prime stuff. I remember when there was no Prime stuff. So that's kind of disappointing. Let's try this. Yay, free stuff. Oh, here's a high-tech one. That looks kind of cool. Let's check it out. So this is another cool thing about StreamLabs. A lot of people have already created themes, and you can do Prime and get whatever you want, or you can use if it's not my favorite fan currently. Yeah, it's Melissa. We did a special stream for her the other day, Satisfactory. So nice to have her back watching the stream as we explain the setups on the streams here. So as I was saying, once you find the widget that you like, you can select it, and then you can click install. And it should install it. I don't know if it adds it to the one. There you go. So you see it automatically added it to my thing as my widget theme. Don't ask me how to change those. I haven't changed themes in a while, so I'll have to look at how to adjust that a little bit more here soon. Okay, Zips. But now let's say we want that to be the live transition, the live scene over here. So all you do is click transition. And it should be live over here now. So now when we click on follow, you'll see it pops up over here as well, indicating that on the live stream, you guys should have seen it front and center right here through the middle. So a little bit confusing because we're looking through the looking glass, obviously, here. We can see everything here. But still kind of cool, right? Right. So there are times in which you might be doing some things that are other sizes. And that's why very cool. That's why I put the resolution on the back end here so that we can duplicate this and then adjust what we need for the new size. So we could actually, let's see, are we able to duplicate this one? We can copy it. we can duplicate this and we can make it 1080. And now we can adjust that same scheme for the 1080 size. So we would probably want to hide this, create another input display capture, and we would set it up so that if the display wasn't full screen, we're going to create a new source. We're going to do main display. We're going to spell it right. Capture 1080. So now when we have the display, the monitor at 1080, right now it's still 1340, but we'll be able to adjust the scene correctly to show that. I forget which one's on top or not. I wonder what phone she's getting. All right, so that gives you a good idea about transitions. Now, let's say we want to add a whole new scene. In this scene, we are going to put a webcam. So I'm just gonna, for the sake of this tutorial / explanation of how to set this stuff up, we're just gonna name it webcam. We're gonna kind of come here, and now we have a clean scene here. You notice it dropped off the audio that we added in. That's because the audio we added in specifically here. So we can copy it, then we can paste it, just like you would copy and paste anything else. So now that audio is on this scene as well. And there's other ways to bring that audio in, but we're just going to do it the easy way for the time being. So now we're going to go ahead and add in a web capture device. So maybe we're giving a presentation. Maybe we have multiple live cameras that are actually looking at something that we're explaining. So what you do is you're going to choose the capture device under video capture device most likely. There may be other ways that you're capturing that information, but we're going to use video capture device and see if that works for our need today. And under this video capture device, we're going to name it. I'm going to name it webcam. And we're going to add the source. Once we add the source, it's going to ask for the device. Now, right now, you're seeing my HTC Vive looking down at me like a creep. Hi. And you know what? I might do that, but right now we're going to set up the actual webcam right there. You can see all my mess in my my man cave here. And yeah, the light's going to be a little bit blown out. That's what it's like without the light. So yeah, we'll just leave the light off. Why not? Who really wants to see me anyways? So with that being said, you can also set up the resolution and other stuff by clicking configure video, configure crossbar. There's a bunch of different things you can do. I'm just going to leave it by default right now, just to kind of get it in here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And here's the video. Now you notice this looks different than this. You're seeing the whole screen right now. But when I actually transition, you should be seeing just the video. So right now, this is what it looks like. And I'm actually going to transition so you can see it live. And I'm just right in the middle of the screen. Nothing interesting is going on. And that's the scene. Now I can edit this because we're in studio mode. So as I edit this, I'll see it on my end. You won't see it on your end. So I'm going to fit it to screen. So it's going to make me a lot bigger. So on the stream, you're still only seeing my face, my darkly lit face. So, wow. But I'm going to add a couple other things here. While we're doing this, let's have some fun. Let's see if we can add in some chat. So I'm going to try to add in some chat here. So bear with me as I work on adding in chat. I'm just going to edit this up as a new source. And I'm just working on how I want to add this. I apologize. It's taking a moment. Bingo. Let's see here. This is going to be a chat box. And I'm going to put the chat box on the right-hand side because that's how I'm used to it. And we're going to, I don't know, one thing I haven't ever been very good with, and that is keeping things at the right position. Sometimes it's hard to transform center vertical. There we go. And so we're going to have chat on the right-hand side if all is working. So let's go ahead and test this. And you're going to see the chat start to come up, hopefully. That being said, let's go ahead. I wonder what happens if I do this. It's gonna, all right. So I'm gonna adjust the size of the chat by going to the properties. I'm gonna make the height 1080p. Now, I'm doing this strategically because, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out which type I like, so just bear with. You guys can't see this yet. I'm working on it. I'm gonna get you some awesomeness here, hopefully, in a moment. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so I think this is gonna work. And we're gonna set it up so that it's centered vertically. And so right now you're still just seeing a black screen, but I'm gonna set up, let me go ahead and switch back to the desktop so you can see me work here. And I'm working on the webcam right here. So I'm gonna let you see me do the work on it. Now I created a chat box there and I added in the webcam that's already there, but I made it bigger. Now I could make this webcam the 1440. So as I change different sizes, I can have the settings follow them. I hear someone, hey, it's my favorite fan. All right, so you guys have been seeing her in chat.
You thought it was my stepmom. It's me.
No, I just said the name that came up. I didn't want to assume it was any one person.
It was me.
I see you, Melissa. I remember. I need to remember your username.
About that, I'm gonna be deleting this because this is my dad's and my stepmom's tablet because I'm getting a new Discord account when I get my new phone.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll get it changed then when that happens. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear about the new phone. It's going to be fun. So back to what I was saying. We have that chat going on, and you see the edits that I've done live on stream. Now, you can change the transitions. So right now, the global transition is just cut, but that's kind of boring. And I like having fun with transitions. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to Luma Wipe, if I remember correctly. That's kind of fun. And let's see how this is going to work. Now you can change how the transitions go to specific scenes by adding connections and whatnot, but that's a little bit more advanced and we're not going to go over that right now. So right now this is going to be a Luma Wipe transition. And if we click transition, boom, and it switches over. So then we can switch back to the desktop, boom. It's not nearly as fun as I was hoping it would be. Well, what's the one I actually like? Aha, here we go. All sorts of fun stuff.
I just got the notification because I was literally just on TikTok and all of a sudden I see, okay, let's join my favorite YouTubers live stream.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I'm glad to have you here for sure, always. You know me doing random streams. Someone requested how to set this up, so I was setting it up, and there's another request in how to stream in the ultra wide format, because YouTube sometimes or Twitch sometimes likes to push you to one format the other. So I'm showing my settings and hoping that it'll help them. So yeah, and maybe when you start streaming, this will help you too.
I mean, I go live stream on Instagram, but I don't do any YouTube videos on YouTube because it won't let me. But if it did, I would do a lot of Roblox videos.
A lot of Roblox videos.
I love Roblox. Like literally, I play Roblox every day. As soon as I get up, I drink my coffee, then I eat my breakfast, and then I drink a smoothie, and then I play my Roblox.
Okay, very cool. Ooh, fractal. That looks like fun. All right, we're gonna try this transition. Back to the desktop.
On the computer.
Come again?
I played it before.
Okay.
I played it before.
Very cool.
Yeah. I wish I had a computer still because then I would play it. I like played it 24/7.
Did ya? I gotcha.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I gotcha. All right, so we're making it just a smidge longer, but not super long. It'll take about a second to go ahead and transition now. And so what you'll see is when I transition back to the desktop, it kind of does a little bit of a wipe. And then when I transition to anything else, it'll go ahead, or it should go ahead and do that wipe again, shunk, to the next one. So as long as they're different desktops or different scenes, you'll see the transition. If it's the same information on each scene, you probably won't see the transition because there's nothing for it to change. But so there we go. Now on the webcam scene, if people were to type, then you're going to see the typing come up. So I'll go ahead and type a message showing that this is what
I was
it
getting glitch messages like other people were texting. I'm like, stop spamming, stop spamming.
Yep, that's what people do nowadays for sure. And so then you see the chat come up as we've set it up there for it. So yeah.
Wait, you met another fan?
Come again?
You met another fan?
I've met a couple fans actually, yeah. But I haven't had another fan yet on audio like you have. You're the first to jump in. Very cool. So.
Yeah. I did not expect you to be driving.
I know, right? Have to have lots of hustles. A side hustle here, side hustle there, pay the bills.
Don't talk about bills already.
I know, right? Amen to that.
I'm not paying the bills. I'm only 11. Well, technically 11 and a half because I'll be 12 soon.
Okay. So here we have some more options. As you set this up, you can see it better. But another thing I'd like to show you guys here is when you are doing your scene. So we'll go back to the desktop scene. And I'm actually going to pull this off the desktop so we actually just have a desktop here. And let's go ahead and pull up Steam. Oh, it looks like we're doing something. So here we're looking at the game library on Steam. And let's say we want to see what the alert box looks like now that we've adjusted things. So I have the test widgets on, and that's one way to test it. You'll see it'll just do a kind of default test. But another way to do it is to actually use a real alert that happened in the past. Just repeat it so people can see, kind of like a shout out to someone. So there's a cool shout out. Patrick pledged some money a while ago, which is super awesome. And I've had my friends subscribe. So here's another alert that should pop up. There you go. That's his subscription. Recently, I want to give a shout out to Alexander. He's absolutely awesome. He's followed me, and I wanted to make sure that we saw that here in the video. Pilot Dave followed me, and I don't know that it was able to show up on the stream at that time. So here we are. You can see Pilot Dave following. and don't think I'm going to say it correctly, but we're going to go ahead and throw that alert through too. And we've had a couple follows while we were offline. So we're going to go ahead and push those follows through onto this video. And I'll probably do this on the next couple of videos as well. I love shouting out to you guys who follow me and subscribe and tell your friends because it's just so super awesome to have fans that enjoy what we're doing here, you know? So yeah. With that, I may go ahead and wrap up the stream here in a moment. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to really show on the quick and dirty StreamLabs setup stream. Another video that I may be doing here soon, depending on whether you guys want to see it, is that segregating audio on your video. So you saw me do that through my headset, and that allowed me to put the communication audio on. And so my fan, Melissa here, is actually going on to the communication audio side of this video as we would record.
Hello,
And
people.
yep. And so, in fact, go ahead and talk a little bit more, Melissa. We're going to see as she talks, the Discord audio is going to bounce up and down with her voice. What that indicates, yeah, see, that indicates that that's being saved onto her own, onto the Discord track of the video. And anything else that we have that may play on the actual computer will be on the desktop portion. So if we go ahead and bring up Steam here, and we put this over here, let's adjust it a smidge. Words do what I tell them to. All right, and so if we play something over here, let's say Need for Speed. Wait, can I look at the store? Properties, manage. What's up?
I said coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Right. So here.
I always joke with my best friends, like literally when we go out, like on my other best friends, I go on FaceTime, and then we start saying coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
And I record on TikTok, and I have a lot of followers on TikTok actually.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna need those keys.
Gotcha.
I have 100 and something, and I literally just started my TikTok account like a month every day.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I think I get followers because I entertain people.
It's always fun to be entertaining, for sure.
I go back to school, I'm gonna entertain people.
Very true. Give me one moment here.
Make us safe. But we own the limits. And we'll own the night.
All right. And so you can see that the desktop audio is running through the desktop channel. My audio is running through the headset channel. It's a little bit loud. And then her audio is going through the Discord channel. And my alert box has its own little audio, which goes on its own channel.
It looks like a
Alright. And we can also do this. Let's see if this goes full screen. Now this video is a little pixelated because of the fact it's coming from Steam. It wasn't designed to necessarily be full speed. But there's the Need for Speed trailer there. A little bit of funness. Interesting. And you'll see that all the audios are separate. And that's why when you set things up correctly, later on when we go to edit that recording, we'll be able to see that. In fact, why don't we do that right now? I'm going to stop this recording. Boom. And we're going to go over to the editing room and let's see how that saved itself in our edits. This should be fun.
You edit your videos? I did not know that.
I edit the videos that go to YouTube. The videos that I generally show on Twitch are all raw and live. Every so often I'll throw an edited one on Twitch. If I'm unable to do a stream and people still want something up there, I'll edit something ahead of time so that there's a stream for them. So yeah. Look at this. Very cool. We got more stuff here in Cyberlink, which is definitely nice for when we're editing. I'm going to throw StreamLabs up top so I can keep an eye on it from up there. And now you're going to see my video editor here. Now in the video
You can
editor,
see that you have more subscribers.
you can see what about my subscribers?
You got more subscribers. Those
Yes.
are my best friends that were subscribing to you.
Oh, thank
because
you.
I had
Mm-hmm.
I had to fix them. The only way that they would do it, I had to scream in the mic and ear rape.
Terrible, but I'm glad that they subscribed. I hope they enjoy the information that we're putting out there and come along for the ride from time to time, you know? All right.
Trust me, once they watching you, they're your friends, other fans.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Oh.
And so here we see the beginning of this stream. We're going to pull in both of these. These are both from today. And we're going to go ahead and import them into this new editing thing. Now, every so often, importing this does import multiples of that video, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. What we're going to do is we will just choose the originals and ignore the duplicates for the time being. And then we are also going to save this before we move forward. So test stream slobs setup.
What? I didn't know you could share your screen on Discord.
You can.
What?
So you can share a lot of your gaming excitement on Discord while you're talking to people. It's pretty cool.
It is. I wish I have a YouTube, like I'm doing videos. I want to start a YouTube channel when I get my new phone.
You totally should.
Yeah, I will. And I'll play Roblox, but I will have to make a new account, and then I play this game called Adopt Me. And I have to take my pets from my other account before I delete it and take it to my other account. That way I still have Adopt Me pets.
Ah, gotcha. All right, so here we have our 2 clips. We're gonna go ahead and pull this one and onto the timeline, hopefully. It's gonna play nice. And then we're gonna pull this one onto the timeline. Ta-da. So one is short and one is long. This button in Cyberlink goes ahead and adjusts it to the full timeline. And now we can see all of the information as it slides along. And if we scrub through the video, we'll be able to see the different things going on. I think I can remove these.
I'm about to change my profile picture.
Yeah, when you get your new phone, right?
Yeah. And I'm changing my profile picture on my tablet. I'm changing my Discord profile picture.
Very cool. So I'm just looking at the editor to see what we can do. I'm going to try to remove the duplicates.
The editor.
And we're just going to remove from library. Ta-da. And then we're going to remove the duplicates here. I think it's because of the TS format that it thinks that there's more than one file there when there really is only one file that it's pulling in, which is fine. I just go ahead and remove the excess from the library. The library is just the group of files that we're using for the video. And it will do that here in a moment. Now keep in mind, this editing normally goes a little bit smoother because I'm not normally streaming while I edit, but it is what it is. Do the do. No, it didn't do it. It's messing with me. I'm glad to have all you here though today. I'm looking at doing another viewer requested drone flight here within the next couple of days. I'm going to be trying to edit that for you guys all. And now we have the 2 clips that we're using. Now you can see that it's pre-rendering those clips as it sits here. It's trying to be proactive, and that's great. Let's go ahead and look, though, at the audio portion of these clips, because that's going to be the interesting portion here. Edit audio and audio editor. Let's see what we have. This video may just pick up track 1. I'm assuming that's what it's doing right here, but we're going to check. Go ahead and talk a little bit more, Melissa. We're going to see, as she talks, the Discord audio is going to bounce up and down with her voice. What that indicates, yeah, see? That indicates that that's being saved onto onto the Discord track of the video. And anything else that we have that may play, and so you guys were here for that, so I'm not going to play that any longer. But so that's picking up all of track 1. So the question then is, pulling the extra tracks from there, and you're going to do that by looking in the editor, pulling out those individual other audio tracks, and deciding what you want to do with them. Whether you want to keep them, whether you want to rip them off, whether you want to mute them. There's a lot of different ways that you can use that audio, and it helps you edit the final video. So yeah. I think I've answered all the major questions that were asked of me for this impromptu subscriber-inspired stream. We're coming up on the hour mark. One last thing, just to reiterate what I explained here in the beginning, and that is that
Discord call.
all right. That is that when you're setting up your video settings in StreamLabs, they will record and stream from what those settings are. Oh, that's not working very well. How about this? There we go.
Well, my internet is acting really stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and mute her for a moment so that I can finish this little thing. There we go. Actually, we'll just mute ourselves. We'll deafen ourselves. And so right here, you're going to see that if we pull up the settings, we have the output and we have the general and stream. And I'm sorry, the output, the video, and stream. I mean, general does do some stuff, but not what we're talking about. So the output is going to allow you to adjust what you're streaming at settings-wise and recording at. Now, the recording settings are very important for video editing later. The streaming settings are important for what your audience is seeing. Last of all, the video settings, these are all the recording resolutions. So this is what you're starting with. Now, what I can't show you right now, but if you guys want a video on it, I will go ahead and chop this stream up into some stuff and add some stuff into the video. And I'll go ahead and show you what these stream settings look like. What these stream settings allow you to do is to resize it down so you can scale it down for your viewers so that they're not having to have such a big stream, and you can get better quality into a smaller package so that we're not pushing a whole lot of bandwidth your direction. You can still watch this on a cell phone or a computer or a tablet just fine. And the key, though, is to use that canvas setting to set the aspect ratio resolution. You want that generally to be the 1:1 resolution to your monitor or whatever you're recording at. And that should allow you to go ahead and keep that resolution should you decide not to scale, or scale, keeping that preserved aspect ratio. All right, guys. Well, thank you, everyone, for stopping by for the stream. I am going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. I will have a little bit of a relaxing chat with those in my Discord. Other than that, though, I hopefully will be back a little bit later to do some gaming streaming and some other stuff for you all. So thank you for checking me out. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Feel free to check out my YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the chat. And ciao for now. I feel like I did a quick little shortcut for this, but I'm too lazy to remember the shortcut name, so I'm just going to do this. Thank you all. Until next time.